Hi, thanks for stopping by. My name's Tracy Cornelius. I'd like to welcome you to Get Creative with Tracy. Today's day 3 of our spiral flower die. That's the new die that you can get from the Spring Summer catalogue from Stampin' Up. So you'll find it on page 32 in the catalogue, and you'll have seen that on days 2 and also day 1. So day 1 we showed you how to make the tag using the die to make some really pretty roses. And then day 2 we were showing you how you could make 2-tone or 3-tone roses. And I promised that today was going to be a completely different project. And also not about flowers, which you might think is weird from a die. But what we're going to be doing today is using the negative. So this is what's left over once you've actually cut out your spiral. So I've got some, I think, here that I've cut out for another project. So once you've cut out your spirals, this is what they look like. And obviously for days 2 and day 1, you've seen us curl them and make them into the roses. And if you haven't seen them, then please do go and check those out. So today we're going to be using the negative, so the parts that you would normally throw away. And to do that, we're going to be using as a negative. For this one I'm going to be using some basic grey, just taking a sponge dauber and transferring some of that ink onto it. Now I'm just going to hold mine in place. If you wanted to, you could use some low-tack tape and tape yours down into place if you wanted to. If you wanted more of a subtle grey, then Smoky Slate is also a really nice one to use. So all you're going to do is just hold this in place and just ink up all around. Don't worry too much if it goes blotchy, you know, that can all add to the effect. And if you're really worried, if you want a particularly even coat depending on the projects that you're doing, you can always just go back over it again. It's much better to do it in layers than to have a really heavy application first of all. When you're coming around to the sides, you want to just be a little bit more careful because you need to hold a few places or a few sides of it into place at the same time. And also this area is quite thin to hold on to, so again you might find it easier to use low-tack tape. That really is entirely up to you, or you could use repositional glue, you know, our little pen. You could always do that as well. So I'm just doing this all the way around, and like I said, I'm not going to be too worried if mine comes out blotchy. But if I did want, so for example here, you can see that it doesn't flow quite so well. I could always go back over and then make sure I've got more of an even layer, like so. So I've just splodged it a little bit. Okay, and again, just around these sides, it can be a bit more difficult again holding those into place. Then when it comes round to the side, it's entirely up to you where you stop. You could go all the way around. I don't, I tend to stop on this one here. But this really is just to show you the technique, and then you can go back over it and do it however you want. But how cute is that? It will create a really, really nice background. And I can show you a completed project that I've done with this. This was for a scrapbooking page that I've done with Grace. This is still one of my favourite pictures of her. She literally melts my heart. Excuse me. So I've used some of the sweet sorbet papers that you can get free from Celebration. So do check out the information on my blog with regards to that at www.getcreativewithtracy.co.uk. But you can see that I've used this to create my background. And for this one I used Pool Party. And then I've edged everything in black, and also use the sweet sorbet papers over the top. But you can see that I've also incorporated some of the flowers that we've learnt how to do over the last few days. So we've got the single ones in here, and we've also got 2-tone. And then again, this is using the Banner Blast the Banner Blast stump set here with the Love. It's one of my favourite ones at the moment. And also the Banner Blast Punch, which again are 2 free Celebration items. So there you go, that's another way of being able to use the spiral flower die in a completely different way. Tomorrow I'm going to be showing you how to make a very, very different type of flower, so do stop on by to see day 4. Thanks very much for joining me, and please do visit my blog at www.getcreativewithtracy.co.uk and leave me a message. It's always great to know that you visited. Thanks very much then, take care, bye!